We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Screams of the Sun, the Changing Breeds Chronicles that we are running here on Final Show Films. Happy Gay Greed Month, and welcome to the last Final Show Film stream of the year. I am Julia of the Zodiac System, and I'll be your storyteller for the evening. I am joined by a wonderful cast of role players who let me mentally and emotionally abuse them at least once a week, and we decide to record it for all of you to enjoy. So we will start our introductions today with Spill the Tea already, Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I am playing Chris Valarius, who is a Hamid Nuisha who will kick the tea into the fucking ocean.
Boston Harbor.
Sharpest sarcasm in the South, Katie.
Oh, thank you. That was actually genuine. My name is Katie. I play Carrie Nichols, who is a Hamid Korax Hermetic Order of Swift Light.
Do you say we needed to go east or west at Albuquerque? Drevian.
Drevian, I play Connor McLaughlin, a Coelacanth Bastet.
Gender envy on every side of the dodecahedron, William Orshani.
Hi, I am William Orshani, and I am playing Callisto Osborne, the Hamid Usmati Garal of the Mountain Guardians.
And 6 conversations for the price of 1, Siobhan, who is muted.
Hi, I'm Siobhan. I'm playing Dr. Clover McKee, who is a Hamid Korax Sunlost.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, believe women, believe victims, and I'm going to give you some good news stories in just a second. Again, we had another week full of dissociation and inability to actively plan, so we're winging it.
I have a good news story.
Go for it.
There was a camp that was established 30 years ago for children who were HIV positive or with AIDS, and it is currently having to close up shop and be sold because there are not enough children to attend due to preventative medications and antivirals that have come out since its inception.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Less.
Okay.
Thank you, universe.
From California comes the story of native species defending our shores from pillaging green crabs introduced from Europe. Hunting native crab hatcheries, hunting juvenile salmon, and level eelgrass beds, this clawed cancer has met its match in the southern sea otter. At Elkhorn Slough National Estuarine Research Reserve, a newly invigorated population of otters has shocked scientists by sparing this sensitive ecosystem almost entirely from the crab's destruction. So, conservation doesn't just stop at humans.
Oh, my army of attack otters. I love it.
Scientists investigating Alzheimer's disease have made a key breakthrough identifying a vital cellular mechanism driving the most common cause of dementia. The research from the City University of New York provides a promising target for drug therapies that could slow and possibly reverse the disease's development. And
That was in New York?
yes.
Nice.
From 150,000 pups to none at all, fur seals returned to California islands after 150 years. A historic breeding colony of fur seals has produced record numbers of pups, which can be seen splashing and tumbling about in the waters of the Farallon Islands. The latest population count provides a sight unseen for 150 years, when these islands off of San Francisco were once home to 150,000 elephant and fur seals, and welcome evidence of long-term benefits of marine mammal conservation. So two good stories of conservation this week, because it really fits with the Changing Breeds game. Speaking of, last week there were some conversations had. Donovan went back to Carrie's apartment where he got assailed with the visual aspect of all of that.
brilliance of all of that.
It was delightful to hear you talk about it. Where Donovan and Carrie finally decided to sit down and talk about what is going on between the two of them. And Carrie invited the fact that Donovan needs a lot more specificity in his life over everything. Meanwhile, Crystal and Callisto were interrogating a gentleman that had come with Donovan to the bar in the form of Jared Walker, who they have since discovered through interrogation is a man named Aaron Partis, a kinfolk from the Sept of the Pointing Stars who has been missing for about a month. Or he's been missing for longer. I don't remember what I said. It's been a week and I've smoked. My brain's not working.
Fair.
And Callisto and Crystal employed Doc, who helped undo a little bit of the figured out hypnotic suggestions that have been done on Aaron. The current plan is to potentially ruin the man's brain and send him back to the Sept. And our session ended with Donovan getting notification that 2 of his contracts had been pushed through. One of them being a land survey and drilling site within the El Dorado National Forest. However, our camera tonight picks up as a small raven is leaving a ramen bar.
The slight erratic pattern, because I do believe she drank while she was there. So a drunk raven.
No, you're not drunk once you transform.
That's true. Still slightly erratic pattern because it's clover. Yeah, and she heads home, knowing the way from here. I think her car is still at Callisto's house.
Yes.
But she knows how to fly now. So she lands on the back balcony. And then pops back to her Hamid form. Do I have to roll for that, or is that?
No, returning to breed form is free.
Okay. So she pops back to Hamid form and flips over a plant on the back, and there's a key under said plant because she has locked herself outside of on this balcony a number of times. So she opens the back door and just in her best Ricky impression goes, "Honey, I'm home."
As you open the door, you are assaulted with the sounds of heavy rock music.
Okay.
And it seems that Percy has found your speaker system and it is playing on full blast throughout the entire house.
She's gonna walk over to I imagine it's one of those big sound systems that has the box with the knob on it, and just slowly starts to inch it down until Percy notices.
You get it down fairly quiet, and then you just see a head peek out from one of your libraries.
Hello, are you feeling better?
I'm alive. Undead. Not injured.
Living, I would say, would be the appropriate word there.
I don't know if we can call what I do living, dear.
We would get into very deep conversations about souls and such, and I have entirely too little acid in my system to conquer that right now.
Are you sober?
I just transformed. The transformation sobered me up very quickly.
Interesting.
I don't particularly enjoy it, and she'll dig into her bag and pull out one of the fruit snacks and pop or 2 of the fruit snacks, pop them in her mouth.
They roll into the hallway, having been on a computer chair. So, what are you doing for the night? Where are your friends?
I'm probably off committing more crimes knowing them, but I wanted to come check on you.
Also, I didn't hear a car. You're right, you flew.
I flew. It's relatively new. What can you tell me about the putting out of forest fires, brush fires?
I don't really do fire. It's not really a friend of the kindred.
Not, I'm not asking you to join me, but I need to put a forest fire out. Just one.
Isn't that what the firefighters are for?
It's kind of fallen on me directly. I spoke to a spirit about it, one that had been trying to contact me.
That's what's different. Okay.
I understand them now. I spoke to one of my kind who gave me a bit of guidance. You would love her house. It's all full of books.
Would love her house.
I
Alice
don't
would
know
probably
how
love it more.
much- I don't know how much I would be able to convince her to let you come inside, but I could maybe peruse some and have you look into my mind again.
You know, that's dangerous every time I do it.
I can handle a lot.
Very brave of you.
I think my friends would call it stupid, but we'll call it that here.
Your friends would be right.
I'm incredibly intelligent. You and I both know that. If you don't think I've done the risk analysis of that, it's like you don't know me.
I know you. I know you well enough. I think. I knew you well enough to get you through college.
You know my work well enough to help amplify it. So we make a good team, and I was worried about you all day.
I was just sleeping. Well, not entirely true.
And you get insomnia.
No, but I can walk around when my body is not being used.
Like dream walking.
In a sense.
I assume I've done it. There were a lot of substances involved, but I have gone places when I have been asleep.
I wouldn't say I'm able to perform a neuromancy or anything of the sort, but I believe the spiritual term is astral projection.
She's gonna wander over to one of her like bookshelves that's just like it literally looks like a shelf in the shop I work at. It is just all witchy books, and she'll pull out a book on astral projection and hand it to Percy.
You see Percy, they take the book in one hand and they let it fall open naturally, and they take one of their fingers and dig it underneath of the nail on the next finger, their fingernail, and dig it into the nail, and just a slight trickle of blood goes out of it, and you see their eyes flash, and they just pick up the book and literally flip through it. Fascinating.
I wish I could do that.
Do you?
That would be very helpful. When I was little and I felt like I didn't have enough time for all the books I wanted to read. I used to try to bash my head against it to shock the information into my face. I was shown Monty Python at a very early age.
I had a friend in school who used to sleep with books underneath her bed so that she could, or underneath her pillows so that she could absorb their knowledge through osmosis.
I slept on a pile of books for a couple of years. I think it may be why I have back problems now.
Probably doesn't help.
It'll be fine. It only gets better when you get older, right?
Yeah, definitely. Says Percy and their 23-year-old forever body.
I should probably see where my friends are. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay and that nobody's figured out you're here.
Yeah, no, I don't. There was a delivery guy that came. We have a
Where's
package. Give me a perception. Perception alertness difficulty 6.
Perception, alertness. Do I have one of those? Here we go. Is it based on sight?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that's 0 successes.
0 successes. Okay. Yeah, you find a fairly probably 14 by 14 box, about 8 inches deep.
She'll
was
take
the
it over
difficulty
to
that you
her
said on
kitchen
that?
table or coffee
6.
table altar. And
That should be 1 success. I think you might have said it on Steven on accident. You didn't say it on
I
Steven
have
on accident.
because I have bad eyes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It technically should be 8 because it's +2 to the difficulty. Anything I do based on sight.
Yeah.
So I still did it wrong, just wrong in the wrong direction. But yeah, she's gonna set it down, like move some space on her altar and take the altar knife and cut it open.
The thing you're noticing is the only labeling was a hand printed label.
What does the hand printed label say? Can I make it out, or is it?
Yeah, on the box there it's Dr. Clover McKee, your name. It was sent 2 weeks ago. No return address.
She's kind of gonna notice that as she has it like halfway cut open, and then slowly cut it and open the side that basically would shield her from whatever's inside first.
Nothing.
And then open the other side and look in.
There is a large black leather-bound book in this.
So I have the curious flaw. Is there any roll that I have to do to try to resist this? Because
Willpower.
Willpower. Okay.
Difficulty. Hold on. I have to. 8, please.
8. Okay.
Okay.
I'm rolling so good tonight, y'all.
This
yeah.
isn't indicative. This isn't indicative of anything going forward.
Yeah, she's going to immediately. It's a book. She's going to pull it out and start flipping through.
So you get about 10 pages in, and you flip it open, and there is just the cross section of a completely dissected Garu.
Photograph or illustration?
Illustration.
Okay.
It is roll me intelligence and occult. Difficulty 7, please.
Okay. That I'm good at. Okay.
Not gonna lie.
It also is shapeshifters, so that's my specialty.
Yes.
So specialization, yes.
Jeremy?
I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna lie. I wasn't going to discount the possibility, size of the package, regardless, that your answer was going to be real.
Yeah.
That's what I thought was coming.
So 7 successes.
8,
So,
because you got a 10 in there. And
you start flipping through more, and there's a Garu cross section, and after like there's after you get about 50 pages in, there is a breakdown of different types of fangs of the kindred. And going a little bit further, there's a bunch of different sightings of different types of fairies. As you're looking through, you're piecing together, you've got a hunter's manual in your hand.
It is, so it's like yay big, like it's a pretty sizable.
Yeah.
It goes straight into the bag of holding. And
It's a good 5-pound book.
yeah, she's going to text. No, she's going to pull out her phone to text, and then remember her totem phone, because that's also what Siobhan did. And she's going to yell in everyone's head, "I got a hunter's journal!"
Ah!
Where are we when that happens?
So you guys are currently, the two of you, Crystal and Callisto, are currently sitting with Doc, waiting for him to finish what he's writing out, and just as loud as possible in your head.
Callisto's in the middle of texting Drinks the Rivers when it happens.
Motherfucker!
Jeez. Oh, fuck.
Clover, say that again.
I was sent a hunter's journal to my house, but with no return address. But it's a hunter's journal. It's so thorough.
You're gonna have to clarify this for us, sweetie.
I have it in my bag. I can
Like
be to you in a
fish and
moment.
wildlife?
What?
Like fish and wildlife?
No, like actual cross sections of Garu and fangs of kindred and fairies. This is so exciting.
What do you
I
mean
look-
sent?
It,
It arrived in an unmarked package with my name and address on it and nothing else.
Harry is assuming watching the movie with Donovan when
Yeah.
she gets yelled at and her head just like jumps.
Yeah.
Those few drinks are hitting me. I'll be right back, and goes into the bathroom and like locks the door, is like over totem phone. What the fuck, Clover?
I
Don't
look up
understand.
at Callisto and say, we have got to recalibrate what this girl thinks is exciting.
Also, Connor,
Verbally, not in totem phone.
Connor,
Connor.
on Donovan's lap,
Oh no.
claws into thighs, and like books at it, like runs around the room and like hides behind the couch.
What?
It is so incredibly thorough. It has everything I could ever want to learn about these worlds and these people.
Okay,
It is
okay.
invaluable.
Okay.
Clover,
Oh, wait,
honey,
let me-
your enthusiasm is at about a 12. We need it to be at about a 7.
No, hold on. Does anybody miss the fact? I know you're going for volume here.
No, I'm going for more than just volume.
I understand, but did any of y'all miss the point where it was a part?
Yeah, that was
with
kind of
that-
what I was about to be.
a
getting to.
handwritten address with no return
Uh-huh.
address, and it's a hunter's journal. Does that like set off any alarm bells to any?
Yes,
Fair, she had-
all of them.
To be fair, she hadn't said that handwritten part, I don't think, unless I missed it.
It was written to me, and then she's gonna dump the box to see if there's a note in there.
No.
And then she's gonna do this with the book to see if there's anything in there.
The only thing that falls out is a single golden bookmark with a it looks like a what are they called? It's yeah, yes. Of a hammer.
When the bookmark falls, she kind of pulls her hands away and just very lightly taps it to see if it makes her skin feel funny.
No.
Okay, so it's just golden, but not gold.
Yeah.
Okay. She'll take the bookmark and pop it back in the front and close it up and put it in her bag of holding and go, where do I need to meet you? You need to look at this. This is incredible.
Yeah, you're gonna need to meet us back at my place because
Okay.
that's
Clover out.
important.
And then the totem pole goes quiet.
Harry's just gonna be like, give me about an hour and a half to wrap this up, and then I'll meet you back.
Yeah, do what you need to.
Fine, we're gonna.
I love how many face palms are happening.
And Clover's gonna, flush a toilet, wash her hands, act like she's been in there for a reason other than
Gary. You're doing it to yourself now.
voices in her head.
Oh,
And
yeah. You said Clover. I was
Yeah.
like, what did I do?
Harry, having had Clover screaming in her head, is going to act like
Yes.
Yeah.
she's in there for a reason, not with a mental phone call.
Not just communing with chat.
Yeah. And saying, I am so sorry. Where were we?
Donovan looks like a slight bit shaken and is just like looking at the ground at the at the sofa.
Oh, did something happen with Garfield?
Yeah, he attacked my legs and then zoomed off into I have no idea where.
Yeah,
Oh
about this
my-
big.
Oh my god. Oh. I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. Cats are. It freaked me out because he went from 0 to 100 real fast, but I'm used to cats freaking out.
Yeah, I'm convinced he has some catnip stashed under the sofa and it just hits him all of a sudden. I'm sorry about that. I do need to check in with my friend in about an hour and a half though. So if you want to finish up the movie, we can make plans for next time.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Callisto looks over at Crystal. If we're gonna have Drinks the River pick this guy up, I need to not be here when he gets here anyway. So
Go
I'm
deal
gonna
with
yeah.
fucking that.
So she finishes texting Drinks the River, which is basically Crystal has your kinfolk. She can explain the situation when you get here. Or when you get there, correction. I gotta put out 3 or 4 more fires, and she's not lying this time.
Nope. That became convenient.
And she'll send that text and get in her truck and drive to her house.
I look over at Doc. How are we looking?
I mean, I've got about 95% of what I wanted to have written. So
All right.
we can do this now if
All right. Slap it. Do you need to imprint this before I slap or vice versa?
let's do before, because after I'm not sure anything will stick.
All right. Well, we're on it. That's fair. We're on a timetable because Gru incoming.
It's like a 5-hour drive from. We have time, but not that much. Okay.
Yeah, don't discount the possibility that they will just race through the Umbra.
Oh, right. Yeah. On top of that, they might also just moonbridge over to.
Do
Okay. Yep.
you think I gotta go get some gloves on?
Oh, yeah. She left in a hurry. Everything good?
Yes, everything is perfectly fine, and there is no new information that is suddenly extremely concerning to the safety of our menagerie. Go brainwash the kinfolk.
We'll put that on pause until I visit tomorrow, I guess. And he will walk over towards the bus.
Yep. And I go into the van and start putting on the medical gloves because I do not want to be tripping on the way back.
So it's a good 45-minute hypnosis session.
Okay.
And at the end, Aaron, Doc snaps his fingers and brings him out of it and has Aaron recite basically almost word for word what was implanted. He has no memory of any of you. He simply refers to Doc as man. And does not remember working for Endron.
Dope.
Or every time Doc asks him a question about Endron, he either gets a little glassy-eyed and can't answer, or immediately redirects the question to answering the question before it again.
Okay.
And Doc stands up.
Adam, I'm gonna need you to hold very, very still for a moment.
And Aaron just kind of nods. Okay.
I'm drugging this dude up.
I don't think there's anything that I'm gonna make you roll. I don't know
if
what
I need to roll a hit, I could go into Manabojo form, so my dex is much higher. But I don't know that we want this guy's last cogent memory to be a were-coyote slapping him across the face.
Nah. So you hold him down, and as soon as the water hits the sheets, there's an immediate you can see the visible reaction in the head.
Okay.
As his eyes kind of go wide and then go really wide.
Mm-hmm.
And then his pupils go very small.
Cool. Doc, you gotta go.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I will stay here with our drug-addled this dude.
Who is currently like holding up his hand.
Come on, buddy. We gonna put you in the back of my van.
I think that's where he was. I'm pretty certain.
That's right. He was in the van.
Yeah, he was sitting in the van.
That's correct. Okay, cool.
You just kind of lean in and push him down.
Yeah.
Do a laying position.
Yep. I just find a stump nearby to sit on and wait.
Doc gets into his Jeep.
Send a over totem phone. Situation handled. Just waiting now.
Situation handled. Brain scrambled.
Yeah.
So Callisto and Clover. Clover, it takes you. Callisto will arrive before you, mainly because she's in a vehicle.
And
I
already
just
closer.
Yeah.
want it said that. Do you remember Giacomo from Thumbelina?
Yes.
The bird from Thumbelina. Clover is flying like that and having his voice come out of her mouth. She's so fucking excited.
But yes, you do eventually land at Callisto's.
And she pops back into Hamid form and just like is practically vibrating like in Callisto's front yard and just like bursts in the door.
There you are.
She has no idea she's in trouble.
I mean, to be fair, she's not. But
She's
at least
not
as
in
close as
trouble. We are just very concerned about where this. Yeah.
She looks in and it's just Callisto and she's like, "Where's everyone else? I wanted them to see it too."
They'll be here in a bit.
and she'll dig out the book and hand it to Callisto.
Callisto will take it, look
Okay.
it over, start flipping through it.
Yeah, there's Hunter's Journal, probably the wrong words for this. Field guide, better terminology.
Callisto sort of looks at the cross section of the Guru. Well, that's either fake or someone went through a lot of trouble to get it.
She's over your shoulder as Callisto sitting down. She's over your shoulder looking at the book with you, and she's very consciously not touching. Like she's literally like leaning over and goes, well, I mean, like if you die in well, not you, but if a Guru to die in that form, would it stay that form when they die?
No, that's why I say it's either fake or they went through a lot of trouble with it. When a Guru dies, they return to their breed form, which means if someone got a cross section of a Guru in Krynos, they killed a Metis.
They killed a what?
Metis are Guru born to two Guru. It's considered a sin. They're born in Krynos in the war form. They're considered mutants and abominations by most of their kin. It's a cruel fate, but they're the only things that stay in Krynos form when they die.
Huh. That feels, I don't know. Doesn't feel good.
It's
And
not.
she'll plop down in one of the other chairs and kind of rummage through her bag and pull out some snacks of dubious origins. And
Does Callisto see any like telltale signs of mutation on this cross section that would indicate that it was a Metis or?
Well, the main thing is the antlers.
Okay, yeah, so definitely that'll give it away. Yeah, the antlers here. It looks like it was definitely a Metis.
It's a very, very detailed drawing.
Is it in color?
No, everything in this is done. Looks like done in charcoal.
How?
Like all of the drawings are charcoal style drawings. Everything else is written in very neat calligraphic ink.
Can Clover try to guess how old this book is?
You can attempt.
Just from her interactions with old.
Give me both of you even can give me intelligence and occult difficulty. Oh, we'll go 7.
7?
Yeah.
This wouldn't be my specialty though.
No. Okay. So both of you, some of the language that's used, a few of the symbols that are written, couple hundred years.
You have no idea who sent you this.
Clover is going to snatch the book back as soon as she kind of identifies that it's old, and she's going to snatch it and very quickly put it on the table and rummage in her bag and pull out gloves for her and Callisto to use while handling it.
We'll take the gloves and put them on.
This reminds me when I was in my graduate school in Portland. I got to access a rare book room. They were very insistent upon gloved up hands for old tomes. Okay, and then hands the book back to Callisto if she puts the gloves on.
Yeah, she does.
Callisto did ask Clover a question, though.
You have no idea who sent you.
No idea. It was unmarked. Percy was in control, so maybe Alice had it sent to me. I don't know. I didn't ask too many questions. I was a bit excited.
I mean, you know how this could be a threat, right? Someone sends you an unmarked package with detailed guides on how to hunt and kill your cousins.
I think you see it wash over Clover's face that is the first time she has had that thought.
Callisto, You get a bit of a ways in the book, and as you open it, there is set in the middle, stuck in between two pages, sort of haphazardly, a bookmark about the size to fit when placed in perfectly is just small enough to be hidden by the book itself.
What's the bookmark
A
of?
black foil embossed bookmark with the symbol of a hammer in the middle of it.
I, the player, feel like I know what that symbol is. Does Callisto the character?
You can give me a wits and or intelligence and occult difficulty 9.
Am I able to put a willpower into this?
No,
2 successes.
2 successes. You've heard of hunters before.
Have I heard of this particular hunting organization, considering they're one of the more famous ones?
Well, the Malleus Maleficarum
Yep.
are a
the Hammer of
very
Witches.
well-known, very old and actually fairly popular within public opinion.
Yeah, like they're a known like witch hunting organization.
Yeah.
The fact that the monsters they're hunting are real might not be known, but they exist as a known
Yeah.
factor. Shit.
And the only reason Callisto knows this is because she has housed someone who's been running from them before.
Fuck. This is a Malleus Maleficarum field guide.
Again?
Malleus Maleficarum is Latin for the Hammer of Witches, and the Malleus Maleficarum is the Vatican's not so secret monster hunting organization.
She's going to take the book and look through it, and I think process this as like a threatening thing to receive. And she goes, why would the Vatican want to hunt shapeshifters? The vampires I can see and the fae.
Well,
But
I mean,
technically-
if you think I'll lay it out for you in regular human terms before I lay it out to you in Farah terms. We're giant, shape-shifting masses of muscle and teeth that don't serve a Christian god and have power that supposedly only God should have.
They don't do any of the enemy of my enemy with
I don't know that they know that we are the enemy of their enemy. I don't know that they care to ask that question.
You're watching as Clover suddenly realizes that, like, just by being what she is, she's now in danger. As she's just kind of looking through the book. And she goes, I thought we were on the same side. I didn't think I needed to be scared.
In the grand scheme of things, we are. And a day-to-day hunter usually isn't going to be good enough to identify a shapeshifter unless they change in front of them. But the Malleus Maleficarum have been around for centuries. They've kind of got this down to a science, as you can see, she says, gesturing to the field guide.
The last entry in the book is a sort of a less a field guide and has devolved more into theory sculpting around the fact that the witches that they're hunting aren't just manipulating the forces of nature, but might potentially be messing with the building blocks of reality as we know it.
Shit, they're working on mages. Well, they were when this book was written.
You see I can't say color return to Clover's face because she's albino, but a bit of typical Clover perks up, and then she looks really mad for a second and she goes, I have been a practicing witch for 10 years now. And you're telling me I wound up a were-raven instead of a mage? This
Look,
feels grossly unfair.
I might agree with you. I've only ever met like two, I think. One stayed under my roof.
Oh, God, God forbid the first mage who gets questioned by Clover about this and tries to explain that no, when you were a witch, you just didn't get it.
Clover's over here like, I could have had magic. Actual reality bending magic.
From what I can gather, I didn't learn everything. Obviously, they weren't going to tell me everything. Not everyone can be a mage. There's a lot of details that go.
I am a scholar. I could figure it out.
Oh, the words of a number of acolytes of the Order of Hermes. I just need to smart my way into awakening.
I could figure it out. And she's gonna flop back in the chair and she goes, I don't get to be a cyberbird, and now I don't get to be a witch. It's worse. At least Connor's taking me to Scotland and Samhain.
Be really
We'll all go-
upsetting when
we'll-
you learn that Connor has to leave.
We will all go to Scotland on Samhain.
I'm going to talk to a witch. I want to talk to a mage. We need to find a mage. I need to know if I could do like cross-classing here.
If you figure that out, you let me know.
Samuel, hey.
No. Forbidden words. Fuck that Shadowlands ashtray.
I think the most recent entry I saw is he got sold on eBay for like $15.
Yeah, that was good. Fuck that dude. Oh my god.
Oh, it's
I
fine.
have
We
thoughts.
will tell you at break.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, we will explain Samuel 8 at break.
It's fine.
Yeah, Clover is now proceeded to pout in the chair until everyone else arrives.
Amazing.
But yeah, Callisto sort of like flips through this and tries to see how accurate any of their notes are based on what she knows.
Well, the main thing, one of the things you pick out is there's still some push that garlic has a ward against vampires. They definitely have figured out that silver works on werewolves. This definitely, the only thing that you're seeing that is partially like incorrect is that they said that this is the way the body looks when a werewolf dies, and that's just
like
not the
just
case.
Assuming that every werewolf stays that way, yeah.
Yeah.
What page was this bookmark on?
Clover randomly threw it back in there, so page 472.
What's on that page?
Let me just that page is a breakdown of different poisons that affect a breakdown of different poisons that are used to hunt down different creatures with supposed different effects that will be applied to each different one. Some of it's just middle-age hogwash.
I was like, half of this is bullshit, but some of this might actually be dangerous.
Yeah. Like they suggested sneaking colloidal silver into the drinks of werewolves that don't know it. and just all sorts of little ways to throwing iron filings into food when serving it to a changeling, things like that. Little ways to either irritate or hamper powers.
In fairness, if you throw iron filings into food to feed to a normal human, it's
Yes.
gonna be bad for them too, because it's gonna shred them and poison them.
Yeah.
That depends on how fine the iron filings are. You just take some cornflakes, grind them up, and take a magnet to them, and
Clover would definitely ask, but she's still pouting. But what if you fed them iron-rich food?
No, you're splitting hairs at that point. And we need our rabbits to stay intact.
Rabbits and hares, two different species.
I know. Yes, rabbits are cute and cuddly. Hares look like they have seen God and did not like it.
They're also fucking huge.
Yes.
And will mess up your shit.
I love watching them just slap fight each other. Though.
If you see a rabbit next to a hare, it's like this much size difference. But
Harry.
Callisto sort of
Yes.
this. I don't know who sent this to you, but it's probably not a good sign that they knew to send it to you.
I will take that into consideration.
I mean,
Our camera shifts.
useful information is useful information, but
Carrie, your movie ends. Connor, have you come out from hiding under the couch, or
no,
Are
but
you-
Connor does reach out and like bats at Donovan's shoes.
fair? Menacing cat behavior.
Yep.
And the movie wraps up. Donovan stretches. You hear quite a few pops from his spine. Well, that was fun.
It was fun.
I'm not going to ask you out again tomorrow night because I feel like that's a bit overkill. But I need it tonight.
How about this? How about day after tomorrow? Bring you some takeout on your lunch break.
I think I'd love that.
Okay, shoot me the details and I'll
He'll start getting ready and as he's about to head out the door, he just leans in, gives you a kiss on the cheek. I'll shoot you a text about everything tomorrow.
Thank you. Drive safe.
I'll let you know when I make it back.
Please.
And he will leave.
She is going to count to 30.
Okay.
And then she's going to walk back to the living room and say, show's over.
Connor just kind of struts along the back of the couch.
We just gonna stay like that.
Just kind of nods.
Let me get a box and I'll drive you to Callisto's house. So she gets like a laundry basket. It puts Connor in the laundry basket and grabs her shit, locks everything up, and gets to the car and says over totem phone, said, On my way with Connor in a basket. See you soon.
I'm not even going to question that one.
Best not to.
Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Carrie fire off that she's heading to Callisto's. You're about 30 minutes from Crystal's, 20 if you want to gun it and break some laws. But as that's just a mental note for you.
Mm-hmm.
But about a half hour after Carrie has made her announcement, there is the sound of multiple there's the sound of multiple large objects moving through the woods near you.
All right. I am activating persuasion because this is going to take some talking. Charisma subterfuge diff 7. I think I have it. And I really need this to work, so I'm spending a willpower.
Okay.
Yep.
3
Okay.
successes.
So I
Okay.
am -1 difficulty and super effective. -1 difficulty on all. Here it is. -1 difficulty to all social rolls, and successful rolls have uncommonly strong impact.
That last part might be helpful for Clover at some point.
Believe. Don't think Crystal hasn't considered it. Yep, I light up a cigarette and I just patiently wait on my stump.
The first.
I do make sure just in case. Just in case. It's probably not going to be a concern, but just in case, I do make sure that Harry is nice and calm.
The first creature to exit the undergrowth is an extremely large black wolf with a it's sort of a weird design, but it's almost like kind of like a raccoon's mask of white around their eyes and then lines down the muzzle leading to the nose. But much larger than most wolves you've seen, even amongst some Garou. And then very quickly, bookended by a large gray wolf and a large red wolf.
Howdy, Sparkies. Got a kinfolk here for you that we found.
There's a flash of movement, and Dance the Rivers stands up. A man about 6'4", short.
Drinks the Rivers?
Yes, Drinks the Rivers. Not Dance the Rivers. Jesus Christ. My brain. Drinks the Rivers is about 6'4", short, shaggy black hair, Caucasian gentleman wearing a at this point a Carhartt and just the deepest blue jeans you've ever seen, tucked into a pair of work boots. And the two wolves beside him stay in lupus form.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls out a cigarette.
I reach over and knock
pulls out
on
a lighter.
Yep. Knock on the. I don't know if he's gonna get up because he's a mess. But knock on the van door.
From inside, you hear.
That's pretty much what he's been doing.
All right. Okay.
Remind
And-
me, because it has been a week. Shawnee, what exactly did you tell him on the phone?
Not a lot other than that we have him and
Okay,
that he's here.
cool.
And
So, yeah.
you're right. Her specific line was, I will tell you when there is time. Trust me, I would not keep this from you if it was not important."
Got it.
So what exactly is going on?
So, we've been looking into various things around. And we were out in this area. Long story, we were looking into some stuff on the other side. Not important to this situation. What is important is that when we came back through, picked up a scent. Not one of God. I picked up, let's just say, certain substances that I recognize. And followed it, and we found this guy wandering, kind of wandering. He wasn't the most mobile.
All right. And he will walk over and gesture at the door.
Yeah.
And will
Open
hold
it
that
up.
back. Well, he looks like 5 miles bad road.
Yeah, if I had to guess, based on my experience, this guy fried way too hard. Like way too hard.
Any idea what he's on?
Some kind of psychedelic. It doesn't look. I know what natural looks like. I know what chemical looks like. This looks like chemical.
Okay.
So acid, some other could have been taken Molly, and it was laced with who knows.
Yeah. All right. He just sort of unceremoniously grabs Aaron by his ankles and just slides him out and then throws him over his shoulder.
Anyway, Callisto apologizes. We have a menagerie situation that we're dealing with. Nothing too serious, nothing you need to worry about at this point. Don't do it, Siri. I do not need you. I do not need you looking up menageries on the iPhone. Thank you. But had to go put out that fire. We were both here.
So
I'm heading over there as soon as we're done.
Okay. Well, I do have to say thank you.
Happy to help. How are things going with you guys?
There's been some talks about we've appointed a few new theurges to handle record keeping. We've doubled security protocols, basically. Other than that, I think everything's going well. We just I don't want another Jared Walker situation, but it looks like, and he just sort of points at Aaron.
Had we mentioned important question? Had we mentioned Jared to him, or is he bringing this up unrelated
no,
to information.
Callisto
we've
is the
given.
one who brought Jared up to him.
Okay,
when
I
she
just
was
want to
like-
make sure.
No, Callisto and Connor visited and asked questions about him yesterday.
Okay.
But I mean,
Yeah,
I can't think of any other missing kinfolk, but if it's going on in our sept, it might be going on in others.
very possible. I mean, I'm not gonna give the lecture that is currently trying to push itself through my brain and out my mouth. Partially because there's 3 of you and 1 of me. But I'm sure this wasn't intentional.
Isn't this the best time to play one of your games?
I mean, generally, yes, but honestly, it's been a long fucking day.
Completely fair. I understand that.
Anyway, I've got to go.
Yeah, we gotta
Meet
go.
up with everybody and either help put the fire out or pull out my gasoline can. I'm not sure which. We'll find out when I get there.
Good luck.
Thank you. Hop in the van, and before they leave, my ass is out of there. And then over
So-
totem phone, I'm on my way.
Carrie, Connor, and Crystal all arrive within about 5-10 minutes of each other. And I don't know if Clover is over her pout session, but it's
No,
been
she's
about an
absolutely
hour.
Still,
As people enter, Callisto is still flipping through pages, and she just, as people enter, just indicates to the table where there's a pile of gloves. Put gloves on before you start messing with this book. And she's still flipping through
it's
pages.
an old book. Don't ruin it.
Okay, hello to you too.
Correct me if
observed-
I'm wrong, but isn't it an old abomination of a book?
It's an old
We-
book that we should probably know about.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it is an abomination of a book, you do know what we have in like historic libraries around the world. So like, we don't get rid of them.
out of character, all I can think about is a lot of archivists don't use gloves because of the risk of tearing the pages because you can't feel them. They
Oh, yeah,
just
no,
literally
at a
wash their
at a
hands.
certain age, yeah. If you're getting to like millennium old books, it's like no, you need to like be very careful not to apply too much force. But this is only a couple centuries old.
Yeah, legit.
So Carrie just takes the laundry basket, puts it down beside the table, just tells Connor, figure yourself out, puts on a pair of gloves, and looks to see what's going on. And she says, is this one of those things like where you touch it, like shit's gonna light up and then like something's gonna come out of the book or we're gonna go into the book or
Not
something?
in my experience so far, having flipped through a few of these pages. Clover's just pouting because she found out she wasn't a mage.
No one told me there was actual magic. I'm
Clover,
very upset.
I'm sorry?
You should be.
Listen, I didn't know it was a thing either. I'm
Rock
sorry. You can already turn into a bird.
It's fine.
Over totem phone.
Reality bending. Phenomenal cosmic powers. Anybody living space.
Connor over totem phone.
Yeah.
Just like we can do magic. We have our gifts from the spirits. That's pretty magic.
Over totem phone, Carrie goes, "Oh, Clover just wants to have her cake and eat it too."
There's cake.
Oh,
She should
no.
have been born a Bastet.
No, there's no cake. I
No,
don't know. Is there cake?
I mean, not immediately. I
No,
can.
no,
make
there's no
something.
cake.
there's no cake.
I want.
I probably got some mix.
And
Okay, first of all,
you wanna-
you
if you-
just described mix as cake, and I'm going to take issue with that. Second of all,
I'm not.
As in
picky, I
cake
just want
mix, you
cake.
dunce.
no,
Stuff
I
can make a
understand.
cake out of.
I understand that. I am just disagreeing with the notion that cake mix makes actual cake.
I fucking love cake mix, but I do doctor them.
I do as well.
I
I am not Crystal.
I used to work at a
need-
bakery that their specialty recipe was Duncan Hines.
That's the cake I always make. I'll do the Duncan Hines triple chocolate, and then I make my own chocolate buttercream, and then I put raspberry preserves between the layers.
Oh shit!
Hell yeah.
Clover just. I'll get over it sooner if there's cake.
Then make yourself your own damn.
Give me a second.
Hey, can you
Callisto
Uber some
says it.
cake here?
I don't know if Uber Eats comes out this far. Clover
They
pulls out
don't.
her phone.
Trust me.
You found the one place Uber Eats won't go.
I live out in the
Callisto's-
middle of the woods. People are too
Callisto
scared to come out here.
specifically designed it so that people wouldn't show up with Uber Eats.
I mean,
Uh,
that's also
But what
fair.
about DoorDash?
no. I'm outside of just about everybody's delivery range.
Okay. How about this, Clover? How about you turn into a bird? You go fly to the store.
How about you give me fucking 30 minutes and I'll bake you a goddamn cake?
Don't.
No, I
feed
want
the pouting
Callisto's
child.
cake.
Perception and alertness. Difficulty
my
6 for
God.
everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Is this based on sight?
No, this is sound.
Okay. You said
Perception
difficulty
alertness.
6.
Yeah, the perception alertness, difficulty 6.
Hold on.
2.
Okay, I also got 2 successes.
I'm taking
Yes.
longer than usual because this tiny ass computer. Perception
It's
alert.
okay.
Difficulty 6.
6. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, all of you heard it. Fantastic. You only needed 1, but there is the sound of nails scratching against the front door.
Callisto
Whatever.
walks over to the door and checks to see if it's ringtail.
Yeah, let
Yeah,
the raccoon in.
There is a slightly larger than normal raccoon, completely covered in blood, standing on your porch.
Callisto opens the door and goes, Jesus, fuck, ringtail, what the hell happened?
Dinner. And he just walks inside.
Cool. So now that we've had a moment, can we not worry about cake for the second and start worrying about the hunter guide over here?
Okay, the hunter guide and the blood covered raccoon. I feel like these
That's
are.
normal. You just had dinner.
Yeah, I already talked with Clover about how this is probably a threat, but we don't know who sent it, and
Well, it could
Cut
be
the
a
box.
threat.
I don't throw away good boxes.
Let's not discount the possibility. Admittedly, threat is more likely, but it's a weird threat.
I mean, considering I got a text earlier today that just said that people were keeping an eye on me.
Wait, did
Right,
we all,
but this was
did we all
when,
get a text like that, or just?
No, just Callisto.
I don't
So-
suppose we
so-
brought the package with us, did we?
I did say, and I maybe a little bit stupidly, that there was a point in my life that I wished that I was strange enough for the Vatican to want to end my life. I manifested that. My bad.
We all want to be strange enough for the Vatican to want to end our lives. Good news. We are.
Oh yeah, by the
Um,
way, it's a Vatican hunting book.
Oh,
It's from the Malleus Maleficarum. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're one of the more famous hunter organizations that actually hunts.
I mean, not particularly, but I know of the Inquisition. So it's
Yeah,
not surprising
think
that
of
the
that, but
Vatican has
actually
that.
hunting supernatural creatures.
Oh, awesome. So
No one expects it.
No, that's the
that's
Spanish.
the Spanish Inquisition, not the Vatican Inquisition. Common misconception. So well, yeah, it's a weird threat. Haha. We're gonna make you feel scared by giving you one of our sacred books. Okay. Or it could be a warning. They're in the area. Or it could be any number of things. Do we have the packaging?
I have it at home.
No, so we
I'd
still
love to know when this was sent and where from. I want a tracking number
Is
if
there
there is one.
a way to identify hunters besides the 60s Impala?
Usually, they're walking around with more guns than a normal person should have, and they're looking at you like they think they know what you
Yeah.
are.
This is
They're
America.
killing you.
Everybody walks around like that.
I
Fair.
a lot of people squint at me.
Here's a particular indicator. She says as she pulls the bookmark out. If you see that logo on any of their clothing, run.
Okay.
Yeah, but surely they're not just wearing that like a
You'd
like
be fucking
cap
surprised.
for real.
Not always, but they think they're so secret that no one knows about them, so they can wear their logo and only they'll recognize it. Kind of.
Fuck's sake.
Oh yeah, the lot of us who know who know the things that go bump at night, we are dumb. You will not be surprised, or you'd be surprised by how many times you can find a vampire because they're wearing a stupid looking thing that looks like a sigil of some kind. Because no one would ever know.
Wow.
Not that that's the only thing, but then when you see one of those things, then you pay attention to them. You see if they're breathing, because they always forget to breathe.
Carrie is just gonna look at the various like rings and bracelets and things that she's got on and go and just kind of study them.
In the meantime, while this conversation is going on, Callisto has walked over to the kitchen and started to bake a cake.
I told you to not give in to the pouty face.
I would rather just make a fucking cake and be done with it.
If you think that's gonna be the end of it.
There's
Connor's
cake.
just been-
There will be in a bit.
You gotta wash yourself first.
You are not. You.
Connor's
I swear to
absolutely
God, if
grooming
you
Ringtail.
jump onto the cake as soon as it's done, you will eat a piece off a plate just like a two-legged person.
Ew. Okay. I guess. Fine.
So wash the blood off. I'm not getting blood in this cake.
Also, that
It's
Connor's
you can
just
do
been
that, or I
grooming-
can go get the hose.
Connor still in the laundry basket.
No, Connor's got it out of the laundry basket. He's wandered around a little bit. He's currently grooming Ringtail.
Clover is attempting
Works
yoga
too.
poses similar to Connor's. She's
Ah.
she's over here just like, I get cake, and trying to bend herself like a cat.
By the way,
Why am I here?
handoff went off without a hitch. There's no guarantee he's not going to eventually remember something because, you know.
Well, I would hope we didn't just fry a man's brain for no reason.
Oh no, we fried it for a reason. There's just a question of whether it's gonna fully work or not. You can't
See,
Memories don't.
Yeah, amnesia
They're
never
a
works like
weird
it does in
thing.
the movies. Yeah, it's a thing.
They're a really weird thing.
I mean, honestly, I'm trying not to think about it too much, but it still kind of freaks me out how faux Jared Walker knew so fucking much about me.
Well, now he doesn't know a damn thing about you.
No, but that
Yeah,
is
but
a good point.
somebody programmed him, and
Somebody told him about her.
Well, no, but somebody programmed him to look her up. According to the story that we heard, he just kind of did that as like a security checkup on a whim when his friend told him about her.
Which is a concern because it potentially puts her on
some kind of
Indron's radar.
We're gonna get on the list.
So that's it is what it is. We'll deal with that. We will dynamite that bridge when we come to it.
Speaking, I cannot remember, and this is Katie not remembering El Dorado. So, guys, we might we have a little incident in our timeline that even the normals are kind of weirded out about.
Which one is that?
Donovan got a text on our date. 2 of his mining contracts, which were supposed to take years, just got approved in weeks for El Dorado State Park.
Remind me of the significance of that SD.
That's where Pyramid Lake's at.
That's where Pyramid Lake. Okay, I assumed so, but I didn't want to.
That's where the
Oh,
lake with the
mother!
That's where the lake with the big giant fucking general of the Worms army is buried.
Yeah, so this thing just mysteriously got approved, and he doesn't even know how it got approved that fast because it never got approved that fast.
Of course he doesn't, because he's not part of the cool kids.
Yeah, admittedly, but if it's even shaking quote unquote normal people up, like this is like 20 degrees of bad.
Shaking normal people up how?
Well, because it's suspicious how the time, so because he's now granted he needs some more specificity in his life, but he's been in the business long enough to know that contracts don't just get approved that quickly. They take on the inside, on the quicker side, they take months. On the normal side, they take years.
Okay.
We're talking about putting in for a drilling site and it gets approved within 3 years, and that's normal. This one got approved within 3 weeks.
Yeah, because they know exactly where they're looking.
So
yeah. Somebody at Endron's pulling strings.
I mean, I know we already knew that Indron was it, but there's another nail in the casket, I guess.
Well, the question here is, do we tell the local guru to start putting up bigger defenses around Pyramid Lake?
Is it going to do anything?
I mean, they can defend an area better than we can.
Here's my concern. Are we, how to put this? Are we Spock or are we Kirk?
You're going to have to define that one.
I need you to elaborate on that.
All right, so
are we autistic or are we fucking everything that moves?
Not where I was going with that, but not wrong. Okay, so in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, at the end of the movie, Spock decides to shut himself in with the whole thing and risk his life, saying the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. And Kirk is not happy with that. So, are we willing to risk the needs of the few for the needs of the many, or do we consider every single life potentially there as sacred and worth trying to do everything to save, even if it ruins everything? Because if we tell the Guru about this, there is a point where we cannot leave Endron's name out anymore. And at that point, they're going to rush it, and we don't know how many kinfolk are in there. And they will kill them all.
I
So are
take
we
your
Spock
point.
or are we Kirk?
I take your point, and I don't feel good about it. But considering what we just did to a kinfolk, if the thing
That one
buried
has
under
a chance.
if the thing under Pyramid Lake gets out, no kinfolk in the tri-state area is living, if not further.
Okay. That's
Including the ones at Endron.
You're not wrong.
Look, I don't know if it helps because I can't give you an answer on the whole Kirk Spot thing, other than I agree with Callisto in the fact that if this thing gets out, nobody's going to survive.
I can play the one card that I've got as hard as I can.
What I can tell you, well, here's the card I've got. I have arranged, or I'm in the midst of arranging, bringing takeout to Donovan's office day after tomorrow, so I can get within the Endron building.
I like that version. I like that better.
That's a good thought.
I like
That's the card I can play.
That's my concern. Like, do we think that we are at the point where all is lost? Because all is lost is the point that we need to call in the Guru.
I'm not saying call in the Guru to deal with like direct action. I'm saying the Guru should probably know that there might be upcoming threats to Pyramid Lake specifically, and guards should be upped around that area.
And the second they say we tell them things like that,
they ask
we
why.
sign seal. We've delivered. We've signed the fate on Andrew.
Now, keep in
Like
mind,
we're talking about we are talking about not a Nexus crawler, not a Jagling or a Gaffling, not one of this. We are talking about a fucking Incarna here.
Yeah.
This is, and I get, yes, exactly. That's I get the stance of that's the point and that's why we need to do this. But also, they are going to take it that seriously, and frankly, they will get answers from us as to why, and they won't care about our well-being either.
Listen, the one card I've got to play is that I seem to be able to earn the respect of the Guru wherever I deal with.
Guilt's a strong thing.
might I venture this? I know or I'm fairly certain with how the timeline of this works. They're not gonna start sending people into El Dorado within the next 48 hours. Within the next 48 hours, what I will be able to do is ascertain more information from the inside, from the person who is in charge of that project. Now, Donovan's a good guy, but he's not the brightest crayon in the box. So we can always press pause on notifying anybody until we know more of a timeline.
I like that.
Because, like I said, it's not going to start in the next 48 hours. It's going to take, they've got, get, teams and equipment and stuff has to be shipped in. Like, it's not going to happen, even though it got approved very quickly, the logistics of it cannot happen very quickly.
In either case, I still need to make a trip to the Towering Giants because
Of course.
I need to ask Thunder if they've got any missing kinfolk.
So that's my take on it.
I agree with that. Like, don't get me wrong, when it comes down to it, like when we have exhausted all options, yes. I just don't think we've exhausted all options yet. Up to and including, and don't look at me the way you're gonna look at me. Going up to Pyramid Lake ourselves first.
I
Do
mean,
we
I
know
was
if
going
there's
to
a
suggest that we do
wildfire
that
near
anyway.
Pyramid Lake?
Excuse me?
Do we know if there's a wildfire near Pyramid Lake?
I don't know,
Yet
Google.
that I'm aware of. I open up a Google Maps to see if there's any wildfires in the area.
No.
Over.
Do we want a wildfire in the area? 'Cause
No, nobody start fires in the area, please.
No. I am supposed to put one existing.
you're
Yes.
gonna need. Okay, over, sweetie. You're in 4D right now. We need to go back to 3D where you assume we don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have that conversation. I have to put out a wildfire.
Why do you need to put out
Why?
a wildfire?
So I can
For
be
the
taught a
bad?
thing from a spirit.
To do what now?
To be taught a thing from a spirit. One thing.
You
Okay,
were given
wait
you
a
were
second.
given a Chiminage task to put out a wildfire to learn something.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
From who?
A spirit.
Yeah, you keep saying that
that
like
makes
that's
sense.
going to make it any more clear.
I gave him a name and I can't remember what name I gave him.
Hi.
Hi. Kai. My friend.
What kind of spirit are they?
I can't. Were they? Oh no, no. Hold on, it wasn't water. What were they made of? Were they fire?
They were made of electricity.
Electricity. That's right. They're made of electricity.
So an electric spirit wants you to set a fire.
No, it wants
put
me to
out.
put one out.
Put out a
Put
fire.
out a fire.
Mhm.
To teach you
Nope.
what?
Carrie,
I
so
don't
let clarify this. Our gifts beyond the ones that we've kind of figured out on our own.
Right.
We have to learn
Some were
them from
taught to us by
someone, and you can learn them from spirits on the other side of the gauntlet.
Okay.
know,
Yeah, that
They demand things as payment. Sometimes it's feeding them gnosis. Sometimes it's putting out a wildfire.
my concern is like I get there's stuff I don't understand and I need to do my homework. But my concern is that my friend doesn't know what this who the spirit is, what the spirit's intention is, and what gift the spirit wants to bestow upon her. So my concern is that she made her side of the bargain without knowing what she was going to get in return.
I bargained. It was me. I made the deal. It wasn't going to do it. Technically, it wasn't going to do anything till I put out all the wildfires. But I bargained. I put out one. To
Nice.
learn one thing now.
The
So,
spirits don't generally walk up to you and say, "Hey, I'd like to make you a deal." If they do, don't take it.
I had I had an experience with one wing that helped me turn down the volume. And then,
Turn down the volume on the stuff inside your head.
yeah, it was very vast and empty in there.
Is that what you did with Magpie?
Or Magpie, not One Wing. Sorry, might be. I forgot.
Nope.
Character's name. So when it got turned down, there was a big red button. And
Yeah.
I pushed it.
I know what you do
and
with big red buttons.
one spirit came out and was very distressed about wildfires. And I asked what I could do. And said, put them out. Maybe I could teach you things. And I said, what if I put out one and get one thing right now?
Well,
He
you
said,
can look
"I'm
up a
waiting."
wildfire map. There's always something going on in California.
So it
Legitimately,
brings us
that's
to
about
part 2 of the conundrum. How does one put out wildflower fires with our gifts?
Well, generally speaking, it depends on the size of the fire. If it's relatively small, you might set out a back blaze to try and choke out the fuel that it's using. A more controlled fire that chokes out fuel and oxygen from the area around the fire that lets it die out on its own. You might could put it out with large amounts of water. It depends.
human methods.
Forestry's complicated.
Yes, is there something? Oh, but you know what would help so much right now? If I was a reality bending mage and could just summon a lot of water all at once on a wildfire.
That would be very helpful.
Even if you suddenly became a mage, you would not be able to summon great amounts of water at once. That shit takes years.
I'd
Far as
figure
we
it
know.
out.
Ringtail has found something to chew on. And it's just like, this is great, but are you guys going to be soccer cake like Crystal asked? And that's where we're going to go to break.
Dope.
Remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So stand up, stretch your legs, move around a little bit, do whatever you need to do. And we will be back in just a few minutes after these commercial messages.
Yeah. We're back.
We are back. So, as Ringtail asks that question that hangs in the air, he just kind of looks at the group of you. As he asked, are you guys socks or cake? Like Crystal asked.
That is not what I said.
Harry,
Also, we're socks. Clearly.
Harry is just going to go to the kitchen, grab a drink from the fridge, doesn't matter what it is, and walk out onto the porch and just be like, I need a minute.
That's fair.
There's a blood covering raccoon asking about socks and cake. There's a bird that wants to be a mage and is pouting until she gets cake. There's another person making a cake, another person Connor is being the least weird of all of you right now, and that is saying something.
Hey,
I was gonna say, and that man is a cat.
That's
I
licking the
am not
blood-covered
being
raccoon.
weird. I am being perfectly normal here.
That man is playing Galaga.
Thank you.
He thought I wouldn't notice, but we did.
Clover is like laid back on the floor, having missed a good portion of this conversation, and she is indeed playing Galaga on her.
Also, Jeremy, the way that your headphones are like brushing most of your hair down, but not all of it, makes you look like you have
Oh,
insane hair
Jesus
right now.
Christ. Hold on. Fuck me.
It looks like horns.
It came out after you made the crazy comment, and it was perfect.
There we go.
Not crazy. You look at yourself.
Feel like I'm thinking crazy.
Connor, you're going at it, but that's going to take a while if you want to clean that whole raccoon.
I think the funniest part is Ringtail just letting it happen.
Oh, he don't care.
Speaking of cake, this will be done in a few minutes. Callisto says she sort of leans up against the counter while the cake is baking.
You will get clean before you tack that cake, or I will turn a hose on you.
He's going to have to fight me for the cake.
Where can I find a river?
Callisto? Actually, no. I can make a river. I go. I don't yank him up. I pick him up. I'm going into the bathroom so I can draw a tub.
Yay!
I'm making a river.
Yep. So you assist Ringtail in getting clean.
I mean, no. I put him in the tub. I turn on the water.
Okay.
Use your paws. Turn that off before it starts spilling.
You
Cool.
assume
I walk out.
You assume that the raccoon will know how to do that.
What I did. You literally just watched it. I walk out and I'm like, if you get water damage in your bathroom, then it's Ringtail's fault.
If you leave Ringtail alone and he water damages my bathroom, it's coming out of your ass.
He's an intelligent fucking raccoon. He has opposable digits. He can figure out. He just watched me turn it on. If he doesn't turn it off,
Callisto gives you the look of, and you're trusting the child to do that.
I'm surprised this conversation isn't about Clover. Genuinely.
Clover just in the corner. They're talking about me again.
Yeah, she's just there. Pew, 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 pew. I don't do anything.
Crystal looks at Callisto and goes, I'm sorry. I'm not the mothering type. You're the one everyone calls mommy. So
yeah, and you know what mom does? She gets the fucking shoe if you fuck with her house.
Well, then Ringtail better not fuck with your house.
The sound of the water being turned off can be heard.
See? It can learn.
And then scrambling, a thud, and then as Ringtail has not dried off at all, it just begins
Right.
walking through the house.
I feel like that's probably okay.
Callisto just looks at Crystal.
Oh, I'm not mopping that shit up. I do not do maid service.
What about Callisto? Have you thought about getting one of those Roombas that does the mopping for you?
Thought about it, but normally I don't have that much of a need for one.
I feel like over the last several days, it has become glaringly obvious that
Yeah.
you need one now.
Yeah. There is suddenly becoming a need for one.
It's obviously the raccoon.
What's a Roomba?
It's a
It's a
teeny
Chariot.
robot
you.
vacuum.
Crystal,
Am I wrong?
if you
Yes.
start planting further ideas, the tally gets higher.
Yeah, you keep saying that. And you never promises. That's all I'm saying.
You don't want me to deliver on that.
My safe word is coconut.
You remember what happened to Thunder? I can do a lot and not kill you.
Yes, I remember what happened to Thunder. I'm not going to put myself in the box. And if you put me in the box, I will just shift out into the Umbra. Because unlike Thunder, I have a brain and I understand that when I'm in a box, I can do things to get out of it.
I wasn't talking about the box. I was talking about what happened to her shoulders.
I'm moderately certain I can run faster than you.
Why are we talking about boxes?
Because we all color outside of them.
Clover digs in her bag and pulls out a coloring book and a pack of crayons.
It's fine.
I need to know the kind of coloring book it is.
It is a My Little Pony coloring book.
Yes.
She is currently very artfully coloring a picture of Pinkie Pie.
I don't know how you knew what I have in my purse, but okay. You think I'm joking. I bring along the coloring book for the littles.
Oh, I don't at all think you're joking.
No, I don't.
Anyways,
There's goldfish in mine.
Connor bats one of the crayons around on the floor.
as much as being threatened by girls is kind of my kink, what's our plan from here?
Harry is going to walk back in at right after that statement, stops, sees Clover coloring, and just walks straight to Clover and says, "Can I have a turn?"
Clover will hand you a bunch of crayons and the page, like, you know, where it's like, she's coloring this page, and you'd be coloring the back of this one, is an Applejack. You are free to color her.
Thank you.
Actually, that's not fair. Being threatened by big, angry shapeshifters in general is my...
But
I can tell.
Take things I never wanted to know for 800, Alex.
Again, my safe word is coconuts.
Well, you know, I always thought it'd be good to make it banana. So at the end, you can say, "Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?"
It's actually really good.
It's also quite easy to say
Crystal
around the ball
appreciates it.
gag.
Jeremy is dying inside, but Crystal appreciates it.
Harry just looks like she is questioning everything in her life up to this point. It just keeps coloring.
So
Well, I
normal
suppose our
expression is
plan-
what I'm hearing.
I suppose our plan should be what is most time sensitive.
Well, we've got one of us has a lunch date tomorrow, if I'm understanding this.
Day after
correctly.
tomorrow.
Day after tomorrow.
He didn't want to seem too desperate and have our next date be tomorrow, so I said day after tomorrow.
That's fair. Um,
Plus, I figured it'd give us time to plan.
that's good. That is actually very good. The one thing I'm going to say, and this is, I know I keep bringing up all of the, oh, here's a bad thing, but because we did the good-ish thing with Aaron's not going to show up to work.
Okay.
And Ron might start wondering if one of their kinfolk doesn't show up to work. So I'm not saying that we have to worry about tomorrow, but maybe we spend tomorrow in some serious planning.
I'm fairly certain, considering that they know what they're trying to fuck with, that one of their workers going missing is assumed Guru attack.
Here's the other thing. From what I gather, Indron doesn't seem like it's gonna care about one of their workers going missing, like Guru or not Guru, like just in a big corporation sense. Because I mean, I can guarantee you the job, like he's gonna be missing for one day. The job posting is gonna be vacant tomorrow afternoon.
This is a kinfolk. They got this person and a brainwashed mindfuck kinfolk. They got this person for a reason.
I understand that. However, I also think that we have. I think that we do have, because a day can be written off.
Correct. I agree with that.
A day can be written off. Somebody doesn't show up for work. Okay, somebody else comes in, covers their shift. No big deal. People don't really start looking until they have. I say people. Jobs don't really start worrying about it until after they've been 48 hours with no contact.
Sure.
What day of the week is it?
Currently, it's I think Wednesday.
Okay.
Could be
It
wrong.
was
Give me a
Wednesday, my
second.
dudes.
So if it's 48 hours, we have Thursday and
Mhm.
Friday.
Pretty
Then
much.
technically, no contact over the weekend wouldn't be unheard of.
If
So technically, we
that's-
have 4 days.
we don't know what his schedule is.
That's
But
true.
they're not all 9 to 5 in buildings like those.
Right, except you're thinking about this company like it's a normal company. It's not.
Yeah. It's gonna
Also,
have. This is gonna
he
have.
was- Also, he was security, so he wouldn't be 9 to 5.
I will put it this way. Here's probably the best analogy I can think of. Imagine that there is a tech company that is developing cutting edge tech. It doesn't matter for the purposes of this. But the company is not actually a regular company. It is a front for the CIA. The CIA, if one of their security guys goes missing, they're not going to treat this like fuck Microsoft would do if one of their guys doesn't stop showing up to work.
Have we been to this person's home?
No.
Still, what I'm saying is that we've at least got tomorrow.
Maybe. Yes.
Tomorrow, even supernatural wise. like people generally, aren't going to get suspicious about anybody not showing up for work until it gets to like 2 days in a row and they haven't shown up for work.
Probably.
Because it's like, okay, that's when they start when it's like, okay, are they in the hospital? Are they dead? Are they in a ditch? Are they kidnapped? Did they just say fuck this shit and go start a new life somewhere else? Like that's
brainwashed dudes don't just randomly start up new lives, but
but you know what I mean. Like like if we were talking about a quote unquote regular scenario here.
Yes, a regular scenario, I agree with you.
But I'm saying even so, I still think we have the tomorrow where it's not going to look incredibly suspicious that he doesn't show up for work. We can figure out a game plan and I can go in there the next day when things might be like whispers start going around, and then we have an actual plan and we have an actual into the building itself.
Right. That's exactly what I said, though. Like,
Okay.
we're on the same page.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
Yeah. No,
okay.
Absolutely. I think there is the chance that he will be noticed right away and something will happen, but there's nothing we can do about that. So we just assume that we won't and acknowledge maybe we will. The fact that he did not interact with what's her bitch who apparently was the brainwashy. I don't remember what the woman who
It was just a dressed up exec.
Yeah. The fact that he said he didn't have much interaction with her probably means that he's not going to get noticed right away.
Right.
You just have to be prepared for the possibility that he.
I mean, yeah.
And not that we plan for some remote contingency, but be aware of that going in, so it's in our minds.
Of course.
Tomorrow I'm gonna head to the Sept of the Towering Giants because I need to figure out how deep this rabbit hole goes. I need to find out if they've been missing kinfolk as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
you want someone to go with you? Not me. Or me. I'm bad cop. I don't mind being bad cop.
Oh, I'm so good at bad cop.
By which I mean I make you look good in comparison.
I'm not sure if that's a compliment.
No, that's specifically what I do.
Right.
Like, I didn't I didn't get a piggyback ride because I thought it would be fun. Well, not entirely.
I was about to.
That's just an added benefit.
That's a lie.
I did it because it puts the attention on me, and they stop paying as much attention on you guys. Specifically, the one that there were a lot of people hostile there to at that particular point.
I'm gonna be leaning on Thunder a bit because I feel like if it's a similar situation to what was going on at the Pointing Star, the higher ups are probably not paying enough attention, but Thunder seems like the kind of person who keeps an eye out for anything and everything. Might have noticed.
Hopefully, one of them might be competent.
And knowing the situation that Thunder and I just got into a bit, no one's going to be expecting that I would be going to her for serious confirmation and information.
I'm just trying to figure out, not that I don't want backup, but again, I also don't want to overplay that hand of there's always going to be somebody like in a restaurant, like at a separate table. Like I can, like that's conceivable that you would bring, that you would have somebody like there to suss people out or whatever. But a lunch date in an office just seems like a bit of a stretch to have somebody else there.
A bit.
I don't disagree, but babe, you are not going into Worm headquarters solo. Like, we don't know if they have some way to detect us, because we can be detected. We don't know what, and once you get past once you get past that door, it might be real hard for you to get back out. That said, we don't have to be, hi, I'm the nosy friend who decided to tag along.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of another scenario where that's gonna work.
I mean,
Could go in on the Umber side.
possibly I'm concerned about what
There's-
the Umber is like over there, because if I remember correctly, it's not great.
No, there's things lurking around it.
Wait a minute, where? Do they all just, well, not all of them, but do the majority of them, once they're done with their shifts, just go straight to that fucking bar?
Seems like there's a couple of places from what we've gathered. But yes, that's one of them. That's one of the hot spots. It's right down the street. Next to where a bunch of them park, as far as I can tell.
Good enough for me.
What's your angle?
I'll be back. I'm gonna go get me a security badge.
Excuse you?
Tonight?
What?
Why not?
For what?
Have we been
So I can
to
go
the
in with you?
interrogated's home?
No, we haven't.
We might find a security badge there.
Okay, but again, it's not gonna make sense if you're there with me.
Correct.
So, okay, so
So I'm
would
gonna
be-
go
I-
in at a similar time to you.
I would be
We'll
very
be in the
concerned.
building so you can, in case you need help.
I would be
gotcha.
very concerned if someone walked into the building using the security badge of my missing employee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I'm gonna set off alarm bells real fast.
so Clover. The answer is no. We haven't been there. The problem is we've already given him over to his people, so they are probably going to be taking. They might well be taking him back there. If he no wait, I see what you're saying. He wasn't living at the same place. Unfortunately, we don't know where that is either.
Did you not check his ID? I
I-
assume he had an ID.
Yeah, I mean, no, I didn't ask him for his ID.
No, and no, we did check his ID.
We did check
once
his ID.
Oh, you did? Okay.
but we didn't keep it. Can I roll an intelligence alertness to see if I remember the address?
Yeah.
Okay.
Difficulty.
I can roll that as well, considering I was also there.
I know I've got this in here somewhere. I do not. Okay.
One success.
Eight. 2 successes. Well then.
So Callisto, you know it's somewhere near downtown. Crystal, you know it's like overlaying the map in your head for just a second. Like the address is, you don't have the full address, but you do remember like the street
Okay.
and some numbers. So you've got like it'll be in this area, this far from the building, from Endron, sort of information,
Yeah.
but not like pinpointed.
Okay. I'm recalibrating my thought process because Carrie, you are right. I should not do it now. I should do it just before I enter, because if I take the security badge now, they will notice that it's gone, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
However, if I put someone's head through a wall in the bathroom again, right around the time that we have to, right around that time, I can get that badge. I don't even have to do that. That's just, fun.
Perfect.
But they're worm employees. I get my kicks off in certain ways, okay? But
What about your kicks tonight? That I really would rather not know.
well, that's a you problem. Anyways, I don't have to do that. I can get it perfectly fine another way. But
No, by all means, put their
as
heads
long as I've got, now that'll be loud, and then people might notice, and there'll be questions. It's fine. But if I can get his badge, I can get in without a problem. I'm certain of that.
Well,
Not
I
his, her, their, whoever's badge. Like, it doesn't have to be one
trust
specific.
you to take care of that.
Cool.
There, as a reminder to the players, there is the entrance in the sewers.
There is absolutely that. Did that look like it had a key card?
No, you guys were able to go in.
Oh, that's right.
You just got spotted by a camera and didn't go in very far.
That is also right.
But you know where the camera is.
That
So
is also right.
You also know that there's 2 people that watch the cameras.
Yeah, because they did say that about the security.
If I remember right, Aaron said every other floor there's a security guard,
Mhm.
and then there's 2 watching the cameras.
There's people up front, people at the back.
a lot of security for that building.
Yeah, I wonder why. Okay, so when we get inside, what is our goal when we get in?
Well,
presumably you're going to try and find the timeline of the dig in Pyramid Lake or the area thereabouts.
that was my first thought, is figure out the timeline that this is going to happen.
Can you is there some way that you can get access before we get there
Mhm.
to Loverman's phone? Wait, you were at his place, right? No, you're at your place.
You're at my place.
Do you know where his place is?
No. Not off the top of my head. What do you want with his phone? Because that I can definitely get a hold of.
That's if we get his phone. I assume that if he was given notification while he was on while he was over at your place, Netflix and chilling, then it was some notification you received via email, text, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case, it might contain documentation that we can find out whose room whose office we need to get into.
Well, there were definitely documents when he opened the text.
Okay.
Yep. He showed you a living document with signatures.
You know whose names were on it?
I'm gonna need to roll something for that.
Yep. That will be wits and academics, difficulty 8.
Oh, damn it. Okay. Well, we'll see how this goes. I am not promising any miracles. What?
I was gonna say you could also do tech or law if you have dots in those.
I have tech.
You're more than welcome to roll tech for that.
Could I argue, since I was sitting on the couch on his lap, Wit's alertness to have seen the names?
Yeah.
And particularly being a pharmacist, used to reading weird signatures.
I will give that to you. You can make the same roll at difficulty 7.
What's alertness? Difficulty 7.
I did wits and tech.
Difficulty 3 or difficulty 8, and you got 3 successes.
Yeah.
All right. Connor got 2. Well, both of you recognize Dimitri's name.
Mm-hmm.
So you do know that Dimitri has specifically signed off on this document.
Mm-hmm.
You also I will get you a list of names that are on there, but the 2 that stick out are mainly because they're famous people's names, but they're famous people that would not be signing this document. There's a Thomas Kincaid.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a trying to think of a less
as in American painter Thomas Kincaid?
Yes.
Cool.
Right.
And Rudyard Kipling.
Fucking what? Okay.
Right, Jungle Book. Okay.
So 2 nonsense names and, well, 3 nonsense names technically, but
so my name, Carrie, is going to relay the information along with the fact that she definitely believes that Thomas and Rudyard are not are aliases and not in fact those particular people.
I hope not. I would rather not have to deal with 100-year-old vampires or whatever the fuck Rudyard Kipling would be.
So here's, and this is Katie. This is not Carrie. It's scratching my brain because I know who Thomas Kincaid is, but I want to say Thomas Kincaid has been brought up in the vicinity of this game before.
I don't remember it, but
I
that
like-
doesn't mean anything
don't-
because my memory.
I think
is with
Clover mentioned it.
I want because I want to say Thomas Kincaid has been used as an alias or something or code word or something during this game, and it's itching my brain right now. I could be totally wrong and be making this up.
I mean, it's by no means impossible, but I don't have a memory.
As the storyteller, I don't remember pointing to Thomas Kincaid prior to now,
Okay.
but that does not mean anything.
Right.
I just wanted to throw that out there because
Was that? I'm gonna ask a question. And I fully expect the answer might be I don't know, or I might have said it offhand. Was that one of the names on one of the badges the first time around when everyone was at the sake restaurant?
That might be one. Yeah. Which also means you guys might have seen this supposed fake individual.
Yeah, fair enough.
good because we're good. Just sounds like we're dealing with a bunch of aliases now. Now I don't even know if Donovan's name is Donovan, even though the way it's.
I mean, considering what we just dealt with our kinfolk, he might think his name is Donovan, even if it's not.
Motherfuck, we need to have somebody
Very-
check and see if Donovan is a.
Okay, so what's Donovan's last name again? Did he ever have a last name?
His last name is Kingsley.
Kingsley?
Kingsley, yes.
Well, that's a fake sounding name if I've ever heard one.
Yes, but he's also not the sharpest tool in the shed, so I don't know that he could come up with a good name if it hit him on the head.
So what you're saying is you found a catch.
No, I didn't.
I know I was being sarcastic.
No, it's complicated.
I mean, it's complicated-ish, but it's fine.
Wait, hold on. Do you like the worm worker?
Not particularly.
Okay.
The guy has zero ambition. This guy has been like rolled along like a boat at on an amusement park ride, just going with the gears that are turning.
Okay, but how much of a turn on is I can fix him to you?
Not at all.
Okay, fair enough. I just had to check and make sure. For some people, that just makes them more enticing.
Some people being you.
Fuck no. Says Crystal, specifically.
Jeremy over here going, yes, I can fix him. Please give me.
I'm speaking for Katie and for Carrie.
No.
No.
But anyways, regardless, the one that we know for sure is Dimitri, aka Jared, not Jared, aka Aaron, not Aaron, whoever. I'm sure they're just passing off names like musical fucking chairs over there. But
Carrie is going to take this time to actually Google Donovan's name.
Okay.
Just to see if anything.
I love that we made you paranoid about this.
This whole. I have found out a lot in the past week about myself and the world and everybody else. And if I'm going to do a goddamn Google search, I'm going to do a goddamn Google search. Okay.
Okay. Intelligence and computers difficulty 6. It's not hard to work Google. People just make it that way.
This is true.
Intelligence in computers.
Yep, difficulty 6.
Can I make it technology?
Yeah, I'll let you argue that.
You said intelligence?
Yes.
Difficulty 6?
Yep.
Why is it not rolling? God
No.
damn it.
It's anger itch.
It doesn't like me now.
There you go. Jesus Christ.
Can we take the first one?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I didn't see that it rolled
Oh,
twice.
it
Okay.
did roll twice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Twice.
So
Oh!
yeah, that was a. Ooh, I had some stuff immediately fire off in my brain of what you were about to find. Be glad that it's option A and not B.
Congratulations. Somehow you just managed to text message the worm with, "Here we are."
Guys, I don't know what happened, but somehow I texted Dmitry Karlov our exact location. We should probably leave. But no, you fairly quickly stumble upon a Facebook, and it's fairly active. Apparently, he spends a lot of time talking to his friends on there about fantasy football. Though, like, the most recent post is about a month ago. It was basically taking time away from social media to buckle down and focus more on work. You
Is
also
the picture
find
associated with his social media his picture.
yes, the main picture is him in a pair of swim trunks on a beach, just holding a tornado glass and giving a thumbs up. There are the rest of his Facebook is littered with pictures of him in more of a professional manner. If you go and find his X account, that is completely professional. It seems like he's trying to, well, like he said, discuss things with other white tech bros out there. It doesn't seem like he's regurgitating any of the alt-righty bullshit that exists within those groups, but still talking to a lot of those people in like SoCal who would be right up Elon's alley.
I'm sorry, I don't know what this X is. I only know Twitter.
I was like, how dare you use Twitter's government name?
It is.
Yeah, I apologize.
forever.
It is Twitter, and Elon Musk. You can continue to dead name your. I'm going to continue to dead name your site like you dead name your kids.
Yep.
And by the way, if for any chance Elon does somehow manage to watch this, he won't. Passing anti-trans legislation will not make your children love you. So
eat my entire ass. The whole thing.
But yeah, so that's what you find on a fairly quick look. None of the information that you are getting is ringing as cognitive dissonance against what you have learned about Donovan over the past few days.
Carrie is just gonna get even more unenthusiastic about the whole thing. Like, guys, if he says one word about a Cybertruck, I cannot be held accountable for my actions. I am not that good of an actress.
He did tell you he wouldn't buy a rendering error. He very much did say that he wouldn't buy a Cybertruck.
I'm just talking, but yeah. But along those lines.
Mm-hmm. There's a knock at the door.
Fuck.
Gun out.
It's not a subtle knock either. It is a police knock.
God damn.
Connor hops
Expecting
up on the
company?
windowsill.
Nope. Callisto grabs the axe off the wall, leans it up against the door.
I
Goes to
moved
open the
one
door.
side of the door.
As you grab the axe, there's another police knock.
Yeah, she leans it up against the door, opens the door.
Oh, thank God you opened the fucking door already. Thunder is standing in front of you.
Jesus fuck.
Icebreaker's missing.
Sorry, run that one by me again.
Icebreaker is missing.
Clover has gone from her beautiful Pinkie Pie to straight, like standing up. Like, I mean, like short of a ninja kickflip. And says, "What did you say?"
When and how?
Today,
Yeah.
it all happened so fast. There was a van. There were shots. And then the next thing I know, I was hitting dirt. The thing you are suddenly clocking is that she is riddled with bullet holes.
Jesus,
It's-
girl.
Fine, she'll
Fine.
live. Details on van.
White panel van.
Anybody get a license plate?
If anybody got a license plate, it's it's Blossoming Dancer. She has an eidetic memory. Or so she says.
Where?
Why'd you
Where
come to us
was
first?
it taken from?
I didn't come to you first. I sent the rest of the pack to talk to Doom of the Mountain.
You were together as a pack. Where was this?
We were headed into town. We honestly were just going into the city to get supplies, and our car got spotted. We were driven off the road. Once we got out and we saw that they were wielding guns, some of us took bullets, some of us went down. Everyone's alive, but they got Icebreaker.
Callisto looks over her shoulder at Crystal. I think our timeline's moved up.
How? How? Were they giants? Were they vampires? You're
No.
fucking Guru.
Yeah, and I didn't expect whatever they were going to throw out of the back of their van to be 9 foot tall and be able to run straight at us.
Okay, now we're talking.
What the hell were they hitting you with?
She just reaches into a wound and just plink onto the ground, deer slugs.
Big shells. They knew what they were doing. They didn't have silver, but they got the biggest caliber they could find.
All right. I'm going to the bar. We need inside there, and we need inside there now when I can get in. I just need a security badge.
You're not going anywhere without me. No, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. I was just seen.
You're just seen and just shot at.
Yes. You're laying low.
Oh, I miss having Guru around sometimes.
Crystal, I'll go with you.
No, I can get in. Here's the thing. I can just walk right in as long as I'm part of a group.
Yeah, you've got that trick.
Okay.
Coyote gives his kids some real cool shit. So as long as I can leave, as long as I can walk in with the lunch crowd, I'm fine. They will look right past me. I could literally be naked, wielding guns and going woo, and they would just be like, "Let him through."
Hold on, stop. You guys know who took him?
We gotta guess.
You explain this. I'm out of here. I'm out the front door.
Barry is going to turn into a bird and follow her.
Thunder, you're coming with me. We're going to the Sept.
And she just into the wall. We are not going anywhere until you tell me what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, when you take your fucking hand out of my wall, and I take you to the Sept, so that we can tell them what the fuck is going on. You're
I
smarter
want
than
it
this,
said
Thunder.
that while all of this is happening, Clover is trying to slowly slide the book from where it's sitting into her lap and then put it in her bag before anyone notices.
You're smarter than this, Thunder.
Smart isn't my strong suit. I will admit that.
Right about this time, very, very loudly outside, you can hear Whitesnake's "Here I Go Again" start as the bitchmobile starts and is pulling out.
Barry is on its tail.
Okay, let's go. You point and I'll run.
No, you're riding with me. We'll get there faster.
That's not what. Yes.
Clover's gonna come with you.
Connor, where are you headed?
Over totem phone still. Where do you feel I'd be best suited?
If you got a way of getting into town just to be back up in case Crystal and Carrie need it, that would be appreciated. Come to think of it, Clover, did you leave your car here?
I did.
Would you be willing to give Connor your keys?
Is Connor still a cat?
Yeah.
Assuming he decides to not be a cat and drive.
Clover takes out a key ring that is the
Oh.
jangliest thing in the world. There's so many keychains on it. And just tosses it in front of Cat Connor.
I'm trying so hard not to make a Toonces reference.
Connor, like as the keys are like flying across the room, Connor like hops off the windowsill and shifts back to Hamid and catches the keys.
Better be very careful with her. She's precious. And she'll walk over and just pat Connor like on the face and then go run out to Callisto's truck.
All right, let's go.
You five better know what the fuck you're doing.
Better
We
than
don't,
you do.
not typically.
And with that, that's where we will end for the week. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
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 Goodbye.